Okay, party people. So here's my progress. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on my initials. Okay, so the G is done. I'm going to go back and color in some of this, okay, just to break it up. And I'm working on my T. Okay, so some things I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you in a different format because you have the digital version of this. Okay, this is the packet that I made last year that we tend to stick to. There are some tricky patterns in here, and there are some tricky patterns that I've offered for you to try out. And I want to just break it down to a simple form. So we're going to look at this one together. Okay, so in this pattern, they ask us to draw a bunch of circles. What's important to know is that they're pretty straight. So we have just like straight lines of circles. I'm just going to do 9 circles. Okay, and then the next step is to draw this kind of stretched out S shape. So it really looks, if this is a normal S, they're just kind of pulling at the ends, and it just kind of looks like that. Do you see the difference? So what I found is easy is just to do one step at a time with this. So I'm going to just do my S shapes coming down here. Then I'll move over to the next row. And the next row. It's almost like a piece of string that's being pulled around like a wooden peg. So the next step, and this is where this particular pattern, they don't do a very good job explaining it, because it goes from this to this, which is pretty much identical, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're done. Okay, so what they're really trying to tell you is that you can turn it on its side. Okay, so now our S shapes are going to be going like this. Trace that. Okay, so they go around like this. See the difference? And that's creating that final pattern. So here's the finished version of it. I like this pattern a lot. I think it's kind of interesting to look at, but the way that it's given to us isn't exactly the best. One more pattern I want to talk to you about is this one. Okay, let me turn to my page. It's on the next page. Yes, I'm right. Okay, so this pattern does a lot better of a job explaining how to do it. But sometimes it gets a little too busy. Okay, and by busy, I mean there's a lot going on in a little area. So just like them, I'm going to make a square. And they start these shapes going on an angle. And I would suggest doing that too, because it makes it look a little bit more visually interesting. So I want you to think fish scales or lizard scales or snake scales or bird feathers, because that's kind of how it's set up. They're set up to go off each other in the middle. Okay. So it just kind of bounces from one middle to the next middle to the next middle. And I'm running out of room. I'm losing part of these, and that's totally cool. Okay, so that's really that 1.5 step. Then they add that second line in there, which I do like. I'll do that quickly for you. Cool. Down here, this is where it gets a little complicated, okay? And on mine, I to be honest, I skipped some steps because I wanted it to be a little bit more simple than what we're being shown here. Okay, so they added this smaller circle, semicircle in here. They doubled up on it. I'll do that quickly. I don't mind that. Okay. And then they add these lines that come off, and to me, they look like the individual parts of a feather or like eyelashes. And they add a lot. I'm only going to add like one or two because already it's getting busy. There's a lot going on here. 1, 2, 3. I'll add 3. This way, we're taking their idea and we are transforming it into our own because this is our own artwork. Okay. So you see the difference between mine and theirs? Obviously, they colored in some spots, and I would probably do that too, just to break it up. Let's see, do I have expedite this a little bit? There you go. That does help break up the image a little bit. So maybe I would stick with that on my finished one. Okay, so I hope those two little patterns that I helped break down for you help you. Okay, I'm going to continue on mine today. Don't forget that when you are done with this, when you go to hand it in, because we're going to hand in all of our artwork now, you're going to have to write your name and then your grade and your teacher's name. Okay? Don't forget the grade and the teacher's name is huge because I want to keep everything organized in our class folders. I'm going to start to fill up those class folders from now on. Okay? So have fun with this. Can't wait to see your finished projects. I can't wait to see if you choose to color it in or to leave it black and white too. Okay? Have fun. I'll see you when I see you.